Hello students, in this video I am going to explain the MYP Personal Project reflecting. So this is the third criteria for your report. So let's start. Now, in reflecting, we are looking into the learning goals and the product. So you may see that you are at the end of your process. So after you have created your project, then you need to look into what you have learned. So first is your learning goal. So you're going to explain the impact of your project to yourself or to your learning environment. And then afterwards, you're going to be evaluating your product. Okay, so that is going to be the C2, evaluating the product based on your success criteria that you have created. So you have to go back to your success criteria, tick the box if you were able to meet the goals that you have created previously. So you need to also support your evidence and give your example for both of your learning goal and also your product. So let's continue. So the example for supporting evidence or examples are like this: evaluation of the product against your success criteria. So you have to grab back your success criteria from your previous criteria, and then you're going to check if it's going to meet your goal and then meet your criteria in that section. Now afterwards, you're going to give some key features or pictures of your key features of your product. So for example, you are creating a website, so create or take a photo of the website, and then were you able to get all the information for your success for your product for that one. And then next is to analyze, okay, analysis of the cause of your success or if there are any failures. So you are going to analyze them, what happened to those successful and failure for those process. And the last one is the summary of your new learning or insights. Okay, so we're looking into the learning, all right, your new learning and a new knowledge or your ideas and insight about your learning goal. Okay, now in this section, okay, in this criteria, what are we looking into? You're explaining the project, the impact, and then the product itself. Then you're going to give a supporting evidence, okay, to show your reflection. Before we head on to the strands, I want you to look into what are the different kinds of reflecting cycle. Maybe it will help you generate this idea to give you a much better, clearer description of what you're supposed to give up. And here are some example. Gibbs reflective cycle. So how you are going to do that? So you're going to describe and what you're feeling about your project, and then you evaluate it, analyze it, conclude it, and create an action plan if you need to create a further analysis for that. So maybe improvement for the future, etc. The next one is SCON reflection model. So there are two types: reflection in action and reflection on action. So you're going to reflect on something is happening, okay? Something happens. So you are going to act on it immediately and finalize it. And then there is another one which is after something happens. So you're going to recognize what happened to that point and realize what will you change for the future. So here's an example: before the experience, during the experience, and after the experience. So these are the questions that you may want to look into, so for guiding questions. All right. Okay, so reflecting on the impact of the project. So of course the personal project is because of your learning goal and your product. So you can see in the learning goal, how are you demonstrating your ATL skills? Okay, you have to make sure that you are showing one ATL skills for your learning goal and then one ATL skill for your product. So how are you going to show your evidence for that. So extending knowledge, so how your knowledge in your interest, in your passion has grown, has developed. Now gain confidence, you are more confident in this subject matter. And then how are you able to showcase this? Now in the product base, you are going to look into the needs of yourself or the needs for the community. Now, what are the abilities that you showcase yourself into generating for the product? Now, here, you need to look into the reflection on how you have changed. Okay, so did you learn from the subject? Did you learn something new for yourself? Okay, and then what are the skills? Did your skills improved? Did you acquire new skills? All right, so those are some ideas that you have to look into. You change some way that you have improved. Now you learn something, you learn some new about yourself, your skills have improved. So in the next question, what are you most proud of? So I think that with your passion, with your determination, what are you proud about your project? Now, is there any point of view that you have changed during this project? So you look into how you have determined about the subject matter, how have you changed your mind about your initial ideas, were you learning new things about it, and how about preparing for the future? How can you use this project to determine for your future goals? Okay, now reflection is a process, as we all know that this is a process that you need to look into so that how can you improve. Okay, now here, will I finish on time? Okay, you need to look into, and then do I need to adjust my project? Okay, so you need to look into that process during those time. And then here, assessment criteria, you need to look into your previous one and show your evidence, your ATL skills. This is important to you. Am I having fun? Of course, this is your personal project. You need to make sure that you are committed to it, you have sustainability for it, and then you are gaining all of your passion with this. Now, what advice you give someone who are going to start with a personal project in the future? So maybe for your schoolmates that are going to have personal project next year. Now, what am I proud of in this personal project? So of course, you have to state that one. All right. So impact of the project. So what are the impact of personal learning that you have here? Now, achieving your goal, learning something new, as I said before, you need to look into impact. You need to look into what is your whole holistically working upon. Here, ways students has grown as a learner. So you are the learner. Okay, what are the improvement for your ATL skill? And then of course, your learner profile. So the IB learner profile. So don't forget to include this one so that it is much more personal for you. So remember what are the learner profile. Now here are here are the IB learner profile that you want to look into. Here, pick one that you are able to showcase in your report. Okay, so here is the example for C1. Reflection, the impact of my project on my learning. So you may see what are the things that is impact in the process of during the project development. So let's look into the rubric. So for 7 and 8, explain the impact of the project on themselves or their learning. So here, the learning of your own, and then you have to explain them. Then you may see the describe, outline, and state to modify all the things that you have to work on to improve your own. Now, here are the command terms. So the project, discuss, state, outline, describe, explain, and evaluate. So read on this one, so how you are going to determine the highest grade possible for you. Now, when you are evaluating your product, what do you achieve for your success criteria? Look into your previous success criteria that you have created for the last criterion. So how you are going to meet them, are there expectations that you are unable to accomplish? So you have to state all of them. And then here, how do you know? So you have to gather evidence. Okay, so gather evidence to show the success criteria. So look into the success criteria that you created, then you make sure that you have evidence for that, and also the things that are unable to meet the success criteria. Now, when you are evaluating the success criteria, here are some questions that you need to look into. Demonstrating the completed product, okay, based on the success criteria. And then what are the project's strengths? And then what have you done differently to make it be much more better, okay? And then here are some example of your, some questions that you need to look into. So pause this video if you want to read them. So this is the example for evaluating a product. So you can see there's some pictures for the product, and then determining the evaluation, and then the success criteria is given here. So this is the success criteria, and then what are the growths for the development, and then the areas for the strength. So overall, you need to make sure that there are some things that you want to talk about that can relate to the success criteria. Is it, did your success criteria become successful, or it does it fail? Now let's look into the rubric. So for 7 and 8, evaluate the product based on the success criteria, and then fully supported, okay, said fully supported with your evidence. So make sure what you have said in your evaluation, you are able to show, okay? Don't just say something and then you are unable to show what you have determined in the evaluation, all right? So this is important that you have evaluated and then you have supported it. So it's very dangerous for 5, 6, and 7, 8 if you are unable to fully support your what you have said, okay, in the report. So be careful with that. Now, this is the end of the video for all of the criteria. So I hope that you have learned a lot from this process, learn about yourself and how you will project on your future roles in the world, in the future path that you want to commit on. And then I hope you had fun working on the product.